wanted to touch one thing too, because I heard you mention the Bible that the slaves read.
Right.
It's an actual Bible. It's called the Negro Bible. In that Bible, there were things taken out of it. They took a whole lot of scriptures out of that Bible.
Bring it
out!
out!
He got one. I need to get one of these, because in that one, what you have to understand is this Bible was written to black people by black people.
Right!
And it was inspired by a black God who inspired them to write that. But the thing is, the so-called white man, he took the book and then tried to deceive us. And that's written. God has the white man in a trick bag. He allowed him to do that. He allowed him to enslave us. So that way now in these last days he can punish them for doing that and put us back on top. That's what's going to happen. That's the whole Bible in a nutshell. I'm going to show you. Psalm 51 and 20.
Bring it out!
Psalm 51, 19. Because from the beginning, God already declared what was going to happen. Right now, we pretty much living prophecy. We are living in prophecy. We in the end times right now.
Right.
Watch this. Psalm 50 and 21.
The book of Psalms, chapter 50, verse 21.
Let me start at 16. Start at 16.
Verse 16. But unto the wicked God saith, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes? Or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth?
So God, he said, what have you to do? He said this to the wicked. It said, but unto the wicked God saith, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes? Meaning the wicked are declaring God's statutes. Here's the proof of that. Look at this right here. This is the wicked declaring God's statutes. In 1608, this wicked man, John Smith, created the Baptist Church. In 1608, Joseph Smith made the Mormon religion in 1830. Ellen G. White created the Seventh-day Adventists in 1863. The Jehovah's Witnesses in 1872 and the Pentecostal Church in 1901. These are the man-made religions that our people are following today. They read in the Bible, but they are teaching lies. That's what's going on. And God, he has that recorded. Read it again.
But unto the wicked God saith, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes? Or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth? See, thou hatest instruction.
Because this same wicked man, he hates instruction. He hates the instruction of God. Because God said not to do this. Not to put people in slavery. But they went against God. That's a commandment they broke in Exodus 21 and 16. Watch this. Keep going.
And castest my words behind thee.
And they cast God's words behind them. Because God's word says that Christ was a black man. With white curly hair and skin like brass burned in the furnace. They painted that guy and said that's Christ. And deceived the whole world into believing that thing. Everybody on the planet, you can go to China right now.
Fact, he told us in the Bible what comes from. And that's one thing that my biggest problem is, and this is the reason why I have a hard time going to church.
Right.
Because God had told y'all what he looks like in the Bible. He gave a good description, and y'all still want this white man.
In the church.
I don't know who he is. He's somebody.
Yeah, he was the son of Pope Alexander VI of Rome. That's what his name was.
You got him, and he's up there in images. So who are y'all really praising to?
That's the problem.
God said he was a jealous God, right?
Exactly.
So my thing is, the people that are in church, are they really going to heaven? Because God said,
they not
people
in.
that cry, Lord, 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 everybody cries, Lord, 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 you're not going to heaven. He said, you're talking to the pulpit or down. Because you deceiving people. You're telling, you preaching one thing, and then go do another thing.
Exactly.
Instead of start it, take him down. Take him out of y'all church. Take him,
that's the thing.
Man.
That's why you see, you came here. Like, we are not in a church right now. We out here in the streets.
And I'm glad you said that. And this is
we
one
not
of
in
my
the building.
biggest problems. This is one of my biggest problems, and I'm going to continue to keep saying it until the day I die. Jesus was never in a church.
That's true.
A church is a building.
He went to synagogues and temples.
Right.
But when he taught his ministry,
it was in the street. It was in the open. It was never in a church. My thing is this much, and a lot of people are, oh, you got to go to church. You got to go to church. No, you don't. You don't have to go to church. Before the pandemic came through, or COVID came through, I asked my mama, their ministers, my uncles, and I asked them, if God was supposed to come down here and destroy every church there's in this whole entire world, is that going to stop you from going and praising God? They said that, oh, no, that's not going to. Okay, what happened? He came through here and he gave us COVID, right?
Right.
COVID came through.
And everything got shut down.
Everything got shut down. But did it stop you from giving God the glory and praise to God.
Exactly.
No, we
That's
did
good.
not. So my thing is, why do I have to go in church and sit here and listen to this man talk, knowing, because they say to know to do right and don't to sin unto you, knowing that this man, and I know the Bible said, touch not my anointed, do my prophet no harm.
Right, right.
But this man is full of sin.
Watch this. I want to show you something. Because everything you said is in the scriptures. I want to finish this right here. I'm going to get the church to Acts 7:15.
That's like my biggest problem.
Acts
Like, a lot
7:38.
of people
Watch
want to
this.
tell you things, but let's be truthful
This-
about it.
yeah, this is what I wanna show you.
Like, we've got people out here leading people.
Right. So I
y'all
wanna
got a lot
finish-
of blood on your hands.
Yeah, I want to finish this thought, my thought that I have right here in Psalms, and then we're going to go into what you were saying just now. Watch this. Finish that. Read verse 21 again. Because like I was showing you, the wicked, they have taught God's words. They have lied about the Bible. And God, he had them in a trick bag. He allowed this to happen because this is what's going to happen now in these last days. Watch this.
Verse 21. These things hast thou done and kept silence. Thou thoughtest that I was altogether such as one as thyself. But I will reprove thee and set them in order before thine eyes.
So he's going to set them in order. The them is the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. That's what's being set in order before his eyes. That's why you see us
So
here
you're supposed to be
standing in
the
unity. That's not the disciples. That's the entire nation. Those are the Jews. That's the actual Jews of the Bible.
Right.
The reason why is because they fit the prophecies that align with the Bible. It said the Israelites were rebellious and hard-hearted. That's what the Bible said. It said they rebellious as hell. And guess what? We've been out here all for hours trying to teach our people. You are only the second person who came to hear the word of God. The rest of everybody else was wayward, doing their own thing. Because that's how our people are. If it was white people out here teaching this, okay, yeah, we'd have had a crowd. Because they want to listen to lies. But this is the truth that's coming out right now. To save people's life. And it's so important, but they've been taught, like, this is how our people are. All the prophets of God did the same thing. Ezekiel, Isaiah, they all went out and taught the people. And some of them died. Some of them got killed by the Israelites because they're rebellious. That's how our people are. That's how we know these are the Israelites. These are the people of God. Watch this. Give me Acts 7:38. I want to show you about the church, because you're mentioning the church. The church is a people before it's a place.
That's right.
This is in the Bible. Watch. Acts 7:38.
Book of Acts chapter 7 verse 38.
51.
Yeah, this is 38.
38, yeah.
This is he that was in the church in the wilderness with the angel which spake to him in the mount of Sinai, and with our fathers, who received the lively oracles to give unto us.
So when it said Mount Sinai in the wilderness, that's talking about Moses. He went up to the Sinai in 40 days, 40 nights, and he came down and gave Israelite the commandments. That they weren't in a building. They weren't in a church at that time. But it said this was he that was in the church in the wilderness. So that's the church. The church is the people.
Right.
The people of Israel. So that's the church. But now, here's the thing. We're supposed to gather together, though. Today is the Lord's Sabbath day. So today will be a day where we gather together as a people. It doesn't necessarily have to be in a place or in a building, but that's the best way to hold people. You can't just be all out in the street in the open. So that's why we would have like a place where we meet. Yeah. So that's the thing. Exactly. So that's the church. It's a people before it's a place. So now the thing is, like we was going over all over Christian churches and all that, this is who they learn from. This is who they're teaching from. That's the reason why you're not going to get the truth in these places. Maybe, I don't know what your parents, you say your mom or your dad, they preachers and ministers. But what's their denomination, do you know? Baptist. So there you go. This is who they learned from. Now, ultimately, this is where it came from. John Smith in 1608. Where were we? Where was black people in 1608? In shackles and chains picking cotton in the cotton fields. That's where it was at. Reading the Negro Bible if we were able to read. And the Negro Bible teaches you servants obey your master and all that stuff. That's in the law, but it doesn't mean a slave will be obedient to the master. There's a different meaning behind it. But that's what the white man taught us to try to keep us in a subservient state. But that's not what it means. It's talking about indentured servitude. Like how in Will Smith, what's his name, Jeffrey the butler. That's basically servants obey. He was a servant to Uncle Phil. But he wasn't beating him. That was just that he was his butler. That's what he did. He worked for him. He got a wage, he got a paycheck, he got food, he got shelter and all that. That's what that means. It don't mean slaves obey your master. That's what it's talking about. Indentured servitude.
What is a nation?
Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models.